Welcome, everyone. Tonight, we're excited about have a few guests with us. I'm so excited about it, and so is Mary. Hi, Mary. We are two authors, books, and a beverage. Here's my beverage, and Marie, and Linda and Stacy. Stacy, where's your beverage?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay.
see your beer.
She's got
Okay.
the beverage of all beverages.
I want to say Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Oh,
Yep.
okay. I'm going to turn you over to Marie Higgins, and Marie's going to tell us what's going to happen in the next several months. And it's been going on since November 2022, and we're excited about it. And we're all a part of this novella that Marie has started, and a lot of authors are involved in it. Marie, welcome. Do you want to give us a little more information on this?
Oh, well, okay. I'll try to be short and sweet.
Okay.
I'm already short, but I'll try to make it short. But so several months ago, I was trying to think of a new series, and I wanted to include other authors in it. And I wanted to make the heroines strong, because that's what we are doing nowadays. That's the kind of books that readers love, are the ones where the heroines are strong and they have their own mind and they speak it. And that's when I'm like, okay, but I love historical. So I came up with the suffrage movement. And then I realized, yeah, those women were strong, and they had to be, because they had so many oppositions in their life trying to keep them from, voting, from trying to, make it into a bigger thing. And so that's when I went and, I announced it in a group, and just was calling for authors to join. And I got, like, I think I want to say 16 authors who wanted to join. We started, like you said, in November, and we release every 2 weeks. And so we've already got a few out already. I think we're about ready to do book number 5, in fact, here soon. So let me quickly read you the little blurb about the series. I'm tired of being ignored and treated as inferior members of society. The brave women of the mid-1800s decided to do something about it. They banded together to initiate what is known as the suffrage movement, the decades-long fight for women to achieve the right to vote. The stories in this fictional romance series feature strong heroines of this era who were unwilling to give up their collective voice in order to discover true love. So that's what all our stories are based around. All of our stories are in different years and different. I mean, some of us shared the same state, but they got to pick their own state. And when the movement was, heaviest during that time, and that's the year they chose. So I've gotten really good reviews. I think Stacey's gotten some good reviews. So I think this is a good series for people to read who love the headstrong heroine. And so let me quickly tell you about my story. I'm just going to read you the blurb. It's called Jessie's Journey. So Jessie Spencer feels like a prisoner in her own home and wants the chance to be independent without her father's spies watching her constantly. When she meets the incredibly handsome school teacher to work out issues concerning her younger brother, she is smitten. However, no matter how much she wants to confide in him, he cannot know about the family secret, and he definitely cannot know that she wants to participate in the women's suffrage movement. Morgan Buchanan's past is something he hides from everyone. It is bad enough that the wealthy women look down on him because he is a school teacher. They don't need to know how he was raised, but Jessie Spencer is different, and she intrigues him. He feels the need to help her and her brother, even if his heart gets involved.
I have a question. When did yours come out, Marie? Was yours the first one, or?
Yeah, mine is book
Okay.
number 1. So, okay, now we've got Stacey Haynes, who incidentally if you can't tell, is my sister. We
No,
kind of look alike. And then we also have Linda with us. We were hoping for another author to join us today, but she hasn't yet, so hopefully she'll pop in. So I guess Stacy, do you want to? Oh, and Judy. Judy is also in the group, which was so exciting because I've never done a series group with her. So this will be exciting to get to know her a little bit better. So Stacy, do you want to go next?
I guess I will go next. And, now I feel kind of guilty because you read your blurb. And I'm like, if I was on my laptop, which now I am trying to get onto my laptop, I would have everything at my fingertips of what I need. But, I don't know how to toggle on my phone very well. But anyway, so I'm just going to start out. I was scared to death to write this story because it's like way out of my comfort zone. And Marie has been helping me in trying to write historicals. And so this one was where you can do it, Stacy. You get out on your own and go ahead and do it. And so one thing that, of course, I'm learning this now from, because Marie and I have been doing a few projects together here since November, actually since October. And I like history. I really, really like history. And so when I write something, I have to look into everything I can possibly do to find out about the movement in this particular case. So there was a video on Netflix, and I found that and I read that. I started looking up all the dates I could possibly find from the suffrage movement and trying to pinpoint where am I going to put this at. Sorry, I had to adjust myself on my seat. And I had to, of course, come up with an idea of what was I going to be writing about, because that's what's, very difficult too. Anyway, I got the cover. And after getting the cover, I picked my name, and then from there it kind of starts unfolding itself out. So my book takes place in New York, kind of like upstate New York. I have it somewhat fictional. I put Rochester, New York, but it's not probably really what Rochester, New York looks like because I've never been to Rochester, New York. But I have mine based in 1874. And the story, I've got my blurb now, so I'm going to read you my blurb. It says, Charity Burke wishes she could speak her mind, especially when it comes to the roles of women. Many men have asked her for her hand in marriage, but she has refused, leaving her father, the mayor, very upset. She wants to be a school teacher, but a woman school teacher is unheard of. By attending the suffrage meetings, she would meet other women in her predicament, but she hesitates to cause problems with her father. Detective Nick Young is hot on the trail of a group that plans to overturn the government in Rochester, New York. Instead, Mayor Burke sees him as sets him on another assignment to spy on his wayward daughter. When Nick sees Charity and his sister Ellie, he knows he must keep them safe while attending the annoying suffrage meetings. But being around Charity makes him understand women and their changing roles in the world. Can Nick give his heart to an opinionated woman and go against the other men in Rochester? Okay, so my story, when I was doing my research, Susan B. Anthony was actually there in Rochester area a few years before. It was about the time that she went in and she physically voted, and she got in trouble for it. She never got thrown in jail, but she got her hand slapped pretty hard, I guess. But that didn't stop it. That she continued with her movements, and so she's known. And I believe I even mentioned her in my story as well, that I mentioned her name. So Charity wants to be a school teacher, but her father, no, you come from the uppity class, you need to be married to a good man, and you're going to stay home and and be the, you know, person who does the tea parties and different things like that. And she doesn't like that. And she gets in lots of arguments with her father. And their housekeeper gives her a little hint and says, you know, there's some meetings down at the other end of town if you want to go to that. So she decides to dress up like a lower class woman, and she goes to these meetings, and there she meets Eleanor, or Ellie, and becomes really good friends with her. Well, Nick, as I said in the blurb, he has to he goes on a assignment from the mayor, sends him. He says, hey, I need you to look after my wayward daughter, and if the police show up, make sure she gets caught. Because her father, I mean, yeah, it sounds kind of harsh, but her father was really trying to protect her, because in his situation that he was in, if he stood up for the suffrage people, women, those who were against it would, you know, throw him out of office and cause problems.
Stacey,
Okay.
did you tell them what your title was?
Charity's Challenge. Sorry. No, I don't think I said
okay.
that.
I couldn't remember if you did, but that's good. That's
so,
good.
so her Charity's Challenge is she needs to find a way to get to stand up for herself, stand up to her father, and tell her father, this is what I really, really want. And in the meantime, Nick is kind of watching her and taking care of her, you know, to make sure she doesn't get in trouble, along with his sister, and starts falling in love with her. But
This sounds really intriguing. Yeah.
But anyway,
I hate to cut you off, but we only got about 10 minutes, and we want to hear from Linda. Okay.
Hey, Linda, you want to go next?
Sure. Okay. So mine is set in 1876 Philadelphia, which is when the American Centennial celebration, and then there was a World's Fair exhibition in there. And that's when the National Women's Suffrage Association, that was headed by Susan B. Anthony, made their Declaration of Rights. They basically took the United States Bill of Rights and morphed it into something for women. And they made a presentation during the centennial celebrations, and it was a big hoo-ha. So that's kind of the climax of my story. The story is called Maeve's Pledge, and my blurb says, pledges can't be broken, can they? Finally out from under her father's tyrannical thumb, Maeve Wycliffe can live life on her terms. So what if everyone sees her as a spinster to be pitied? She'll funnel her energies into what matters most, helping the less fortunate and getting women the right to vote. When she's forced to team up with the local newspaper editor to further the cause, will her pledge to remain single get cropped? Widower Gus Dayton sees no reason to tempt fate that he can find happiness the second time around. Well past his prime, who would want him anyway? He'll continue to run the newspaper and cover Philadelphia's upcoming centennial celebration. But when the local women's suffrage group agrees that the wealthy, attractive, and very single Maeve Wycliffe act as their liaison, he finds it difficult to remain objective. So my story has been written and is winging its way to my editor. It releases at the end of March. My plan is to have it on pre-order by the beginning of February. So I had a good time writing it. I actually came up with the idea. My mom was a voracious reader, and she and I swapped books back and forth all the time. And she had about about
nice.
3 months before I got tapped, I saw Stacy's call out. She had given me this, and I was making my way through it, and then I saw the announcement. It was like, oh, that's kind of a cool thing. So then so then I started doing more research, and Mom had this is called The Agitators.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, I know. And then Stacy shared with us about the Netflix video. So I had fun. I'm a total research nerd. It's like,
Yay,
remember,
we're
yeah,
research nerds.
I know.
I love
It's
it
like,
too.
okay, you actually have to write now.
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I had a blast looking into it. These women were amazing. And I gave me a greater appreciation for what they had to go through to get us where we are today, which, you know.
We still have a ways to go.
We do. I mean,
I know.
well, honey, I know my corporate background, I'm in human resources, trust me.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
I got in
Yep.
HR when they were still dragging knuckles, you know, and
Yep.
calling us honey, and we got coffee. So yeah, we have
Wow.
a long way to go, but thankfully for these women. So that's about Maeve's pledge.
Great.
Great.
Judy,
Yeah.
you want to say a few things about or read your blurb?
My book is Maud's Calamity. I don't know if you can see that picture.
Yeah.
That's my book
Yes.
cover. That's my book cover.
Yay.
Yeah. Let's see, I can do half a paragraph. Maud will never marry. She doesn't need a man to control her. Most of her life has been controlled by men. No more. Women lose their identity when controlled by men. Strong and determined to be independent, Maud comes face to face with a man endangering her strong will of freedom with the word love.
Oh, I love it.
I love it too. That's really good.
Punchy.
So that's mine. Mine's not out until February 22nd. And I'm working to get it edited, and it should be on pre-order by the 1st of February.
I can't wait.
Okay, this has been fun. Thanks,
It
ladies.
has.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Really nice to have more than just a couple of us. I'm glad that there was more. Hopefully in August we'll have even more. We may have to see what we can do about having it a little longer, but Zoom tells us we have to go.
Quickly, Marie, can you tell us where we can find? Is there a place to find a list of these books?
Yes.
Yeah, you just go to Amazon and you can type in Suffrage Spinsters. That's what the series is called, the Suffrage Spinsters. Or you can just look up one of us, and those have had the book out or it's on pre-order, and you can look and find it there. But
And I'll post
just
the
go on
list.
Amazon.
Well, we have a Facebook page as well.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, the Facebook page is just for the authors. It's not.
the-
Oh, I was thinking we had a reader page. Never mind. Delete that.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
darn.
okay. Just give me the page to all of them in Amazon. Do you have like on Amazon the whole list?
Well,
And then,
As they
Just
come
have
out.
the pre-orders, the ones
Okay.
that's on pre-order.
Come out. Yeah.
okay, so then I will post that list. So
Okay.
everybody, thank
It's
you
been
so
fun.
much for
Thanks
being here.
showing
It was
up and
fun.
being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Love your book.
See ya.